I welcome you all again in this video. I'll be talking about the few topics of the classical mechanics, which is in the semester 6. So this is a DSC 1. So basically, we will talk about the in classical mechanics. We start with the Newton's law to discuss the equation of motion. So the equation of motion says m d2r by dt square equal to f. The force acting on the object, which is a vector quantity, which has the magnitude and direction both. To discuss the equation of motion, we need this equation. But in the classical mechanics, we will be dealing to discuss the equation of motion by the another two methods, that is known the Lagrangian and the Hamiltonian. This Lagrangian, which is a function of the position, generalized coordinates, generalized velocity along with the time, and the Hamiltonian, which is the function of the generalized coordinate, momentum and t. So this will gradually discuss what is Lagrangian, what is Hamiltonian. But basically we start from the Newton's law of motion, then we go on deriving Lagrangian and Hamiltonian. Here it is used vector quantity, which deals with the magnitude and direction both. But the Lagrangian and the Hamiltonian, we do not use the vector quantity. These are all the scalar, and these two totally based on the energy. So we derive this Lagrangian equation, Euler-Lagrangian equation or the Hamilton's equation. To study the equation of motion, we need the concept of the energy, whereas here we need the concept of the vectors to discuss the equation of motion. So firstly we will discuss about the what is the constraint and what is their classification. Constraint and their classification. So constant, it is defined as a restriction to the, it is the restriction to the motion, restriction to the freedom of motion of a body, or it is a system of particles or a system of particles such that their coordinates or the velocity components, their coordinates oblique velocity components must satisfy the some prescribed relation, at all instant of time, during the motion, so that is set with a constant. It is only you are putting the restriction to the freedom of motion of the body, but its coordinates and the velocity component, it will satisfy this relation at all instant of the time, and these relations are in the form of the equations, or it is in the form of the inequalities. So that we will discuss. Like if we consider the train is moving running along the two rails, that is the constant motion in the one dimension. So the constant motion is realized. This constant motion we realize by the forces, and these forces, whenever the body is in motion in contact with the constraining curves of the surfaces, and the body is moving on the surfaces, suppose the body is here and it is moving on the surfaces, then as you know that the weight of the body mg acting vertically downwards and the normal reaction is acting upwards. So at every instant of the motion, at each point of the curve, these the constant forces acts. So these forces are said to be these forces are said to be forces of constant. Forces of constant. Forces of the constant, and these forces of constant forces are elastic. Its nature is elastic, and it has no fixed magnitude. No fixed magnitude, and they're too strong to allow the body in motion. The body in motion. So we get the scalar equations that describe the surface of constant are known as the constant equation. So we get the constants equation. Now we are coming to the classification of the constant. Classification of constant. Classification of constant. Firstly, if it is time dependent, constant are the time dependent and the time independent. Time independent or time dependent. Number two, these constants, they are integrable algebraic relation among the coordinates. They are integrable algebraic relations among the coordinates. And number three, it is conservative. Either it is conservative or dissipative. Conservative or dissipative. Or the if they are algebraic number 4, either they are algebraic equations, or inequalities. So the constant, firstly, if the constant is, I'll name the different types of the constants. So the various classes, classification of the constants. It may be time dependent, time independent, or it is integrable algebraic relations, or among the coordinates, or it is conservative or dissipative, or it may have algebraic relation or the inequality. So considering these 4 types, these are named as number 1, the scleronomic, scleronomic constant. And scleronomic constant relation, it do not explicitly depend on time. Do not explicitly depend on time. That is the scleronomic constant, or you can say it is time independence. Number 2 is a rhenomic, Rhenomic. Rhenomic constant means it depends explicitly on time. explicitly on time. Number 3, there is a holonomic constant. Constant, it is in the form of the algebraic equation, that is, it is written like the function, this position vector r1, r2 up to, then we have the time coordinate which is equal to 0, then it is said to be the holonomic constant. If it is not holonomic, then it is said to be non-holonomic. Means if you do not get the algebraic relation like this, then we will say that it is non-holonomic constant. Number 5, there is a conservative. If the total mechanical energy is conserved during the constant motion, then that is said to be a conservative. Otherwise, it will be dissipative. So these are the different types of the constant that we will discuss in the equations of the motion. Like I'll give you some examples, the different types of the constant. Different types of the constant. The first one is the rigid body. In case of the rigid body, the equation of constant is the magnitude of the Ri minus Rk, which is equal to constant for all I and k. The position vector of the ith particle and the kth particle, the difference between these two, if you take its magnitude, it is always constant, and that is the equation of the constant of the rigid body, and it comes under scleronomic. That is, it is do not explicitly depend on time, because the distance between two between two particles it remains constant, so it doesn't have any time dependence, so it is scleronomic. And it is holonomic because it is written as the function of r1, r2 and t equal to 0, and it is also this is scleronomic and the holonomic, and the work done in this case, that is equal to 0 in case of the rigid body. Similarly, if it is a deformable body, then Ri minus Rk, if you take its modulus, it is a function of the time for all ik. Then what do you say? That it is firstly it is a holonomic, because we are able to express in the form of the equation. Then it is dissipative. Total mechanical energy, it will be not conserved because it is deformable. Distance between two particles is changes because it is a function of the time, and it is holonomic, dissipative, and it is renomic. And renomic means it depends explicitly on time. So firstly renomic, and then the distance between two particles it changes, dissipative, and it is holonomic, which we are able to write down in the form of the equations. So now let us take the third example. It is the simple pendulum. In case of the simple pendulum, when the bob is attached to the thread, and at one end it is fixed, and another end it oscillation takes place, which is the simple pendulum. So in this case, r square, which is equal to x square plus y square plus z square. So the distance between the point of suspension to the point of oscillation in case of the simple pendulum, which is the length of the pendulum, and that is equal to the three coordinates in the Cartesian coordinates, that is x square plus y square plus z square, and that is equal to L square. So it comes that is, firstly it is scleronomic, and then it is holonomic, because it is able to, we are able to express in the form of the equation. And scleronomic means it does not depends explicitly on the time. And second is it is conservative, because total mechanical energy is conserved during its motion, whether it is kinetic energy, potential energy, at every instant of the time, at any point. If we find out this total mechanical energy, it is conserved, so it is conservative. So it is scleronomic, it is holonomic, and conservative in case of the simple pendulum. Similarly, if you talk about the gas molecules in a container, if you talk about the number 4, gas molecules in a container, if we have a, let us take a, we have a circular container whose radius is r, and all the gas molecules are present inside of it. So every time this r, position of the Ri ith particle, that is always less than the r if the molecules are inside the chamber. And let us take the chamber in the circular having the radius r. So in this case, then whatever the constant is, firstly it is it does not explicitly depend on time, so it is scleronomic. Then it is holonomic. Then it is conservative. Similarly, if you take a container, that is the expanding and contracting, the spherical gas container. If it is this spherical gas container, if it is expanding and it is contracting, then we can write down this position of the ith particle Ri is less than equal to this r, which is a function of t, because t is shrinking or it is expanding. So in this case, it is firstly scleronomic, and it is scleronomic, and it is holonomic, and then it is dissipative. So similarly, we talk about the sliding a bead on the wire rotating uniformly about an z-axis. If you take, I'll take another 2 examples. Sixth one, if we take that is a wire, this is origin, this is x and y. This, it is rotating with an angular velocity omega. So this angle is omega t. The bead is here. This is a bead, and this wire is this is a wire. It is rotating with the angular velocity omega. So this is omega t. So at any position from this to this, it is this distance is r. So therefore, on the sliding of a bed, bead on a wire, rotating uniformly about z-axis. So here I can write down 10 omega x equal to, that is y equal to x 10 omega t, or we can write down x 10 omega t minus y, or y minus x 10 omega t equal to 0. So it is rhenomic. Rhenomic. And let us take a body which is on a smooth inclined plane. If it is like this, a body xy, and the body is a smooth inclined plane like this. So let us take a weight is acting vertically downwards, and the normal reaction, it will act like this. This is our normal reaction, it acts like this way, perpendicular to the this body. So it acts like this, or normal reaction. So this angle is theta. So it is sliding a body on a smooth inclined plane. Smooth inclined plane. So y equal to x tan theta. So y minus x tan theta, that is equal to 0. So this is scleronomic. So this one, it depends on the time. So it is rhenomic, this equation, and this equation, it does not depend on the time. So it is scleronomic. So these are the different types of the constant that we discuss, and then we'll come to the degrees of freedom. Next class I will be discussing about the degrees of freedom. Thank you.